Hello, and welcome back. It is I, Ventus. Please excuse my absence. We had some technical issues after a small invasion conducted by a platoon of warriors sent from the followers of Manus Tharsis. After the conflict, we were able to repel the invasion and seize control of a new pair. However, I am not here today to tell you about that pair. I am here to tell you about a different one. Pair 008, the Cursed Sword, Naki Suna, which roughly translates into Weeping Sand and is also known as Arashi's Razor. I will be explaining who crafted the blade, when and where as well. I will also be explaining what makes the blade so dangerous. Naki Suna's threat level is at Ursa when active. It falls into the category of relic. To begin with, the katana Naki Suna was crafted by a woman by the name of Arashi. Arashi was born in the year 2142 in the continent of Moxieri. Moxieri is a bountiful land filled with minerals and fruit-bearing flora. This being said, many groups of warlords had attempted to seize control of the land. It is on one of these raids that Arashi's village was attacked. Her mother, fearing the worst, hid Arashi in an unlit kiln. Her mother left her to join her father at the front lines. It is unfortunate to add, but that was the last time Arashi saw either one of her parents. She remained in the kiln, repeating a nursery rhyme for hours. Arashi walked out of the kiln when she saw the sunrise the next day. When she walked out into her village, she saw that no prisoners had been taken. Everyone had been executed. The sand of her village had been dyed red by the blood of its people. Arashi began to weep. It was through those tear-soaked eyes that Arashi saw a blacksmith's forge. At that moment, Arashi stood up with tears still in her eyes and set the forge to burn. The fire that ignited that day has yet to burn out. It should be noted that Arashi had never forged any kind of steel. However, she managed to create a perfect blade. As far as for the materials used in the construction of the blade, Arashi used the blood-soaked sand. We believed that through some sort of mystical channeling, she used magic to refine the iron in the blood. Arashi was able to turn subpar iron into a type of steel more high tensile than any space-age steel we have crafted. In following with the morbid construction, Arashi used the bones of her fallen villagers to construct the blade's hilt as well as its sheath. It is rumored that she left the sheath out on a moonless night to turn it black. The entire process took less than 3 days. After the blade was completed, Arashi set off, after the band that wiped out her village. It took Arashi only a few hours to track down the group. The group was a small band of warriors, under the banner of the Blue Ram. Arashi didn't waste a breath on warning when she found them. Arashi began to slice through them, armor and all. There was even evidence of Arashi cutting a horse and its rider in half with a single strike. We are unable to say if she took any damage due to the healing abilities Naki Suna gives to its wielder. After the murder of her village was avenged, Arashi began to wander through forests along the trade routes. She would continue to kill in order to keep the blade satiated. The blade was never seized from Arashi. After 50 years of slaughter, Arashi simply vanished, leaving the sword in the kiln that her mother left her in. We have yet to locate Arashi. However, we doubt that she remains alive after nearly 3 millennia. After the world government took Naki Suna into their possession, they began to run experiments on the blade. The first thing they realized was the blade forms a symbiotic relationship with its wielder, granting them a number of superhuman abilities so long as the blade continuously feeds on blood. When the wielder goes more than 7 days without killing, the blade will begin to siphon the life force from the wielder until they are reduced to sand. However, before this, the blade will send multiple warnings to the body, often amplifying the wielder's power if need be. This has led to one incident in which a wielder escaped and unfortunately came into contact with someone possessed by the totem of the refined hunter. The battle that ensued almost destroyed a country and took out 96% of its army before both pairs could be subdued. Since that escape, the sword has been sheathed and locked away. It is important that no blade like this be forged in any world. Its power is much too malicious and unending. No human should be granted so much power only for slaughter. Thank you for listening. I will leave you with a chant. Tristis ferrum lunari lunem de composito triumphus sau abherbat calum et terram.